we have developed this particular kind of architecture, and everything we will be doing with the help of automation. Okay, so we need to understand the user journey. So if someone is typing lwplab.com, right? So what is it happening? So first thing is lwplab.com is a DNS name, right? What is DNS? So this is like domain naming service, right? So it's actually translate your IP address to a particular name and vice versa, right? So in your phone, you would be saving some contacts of your relatives, friends with some name because you cannot remember the number. So that is also kind of DNS service, yes. So from that, you can understand what is DNS service, okay? And we will go in depth of that. How can you create the domain and all? Okay, so this particular domain is created, and this is internally related to some IP addresses or some other canonical names, right? Canonical names is name of one domain to the another, mapping of one name to the another name. Yes, so those kind of thing could be there. So this user is coming and hitting to this www.example.com or lwplab.com, then this request will be served by some uh, domain management services, right? Like in our case, Route 53. Okay, so this component we will learn in depth and how we can configure it through the automation. Yes, and so once user is hitting, it is coming to Route 53 where the DNS management would be happening, different records would be created. And guys, one more thing, if you find some words overwhelming, so do not worry about that. When we will be doing these projects, you will have good understanding of that. Okay, but just for now, understand from 10,000 feet. Okay, so this is Route 53, and this will be doing the DNS management. This thing also we will not be doing manually, but with the help of automation. Okay, what automation tool we will be using, I will be coming after discussing this architecture. Okay, so the request is coming to Route 53. Route 53 will later redirect it to the load balancer. Okay, so some kind of load balancer will be hosted in your VPC. So that particular traffic will be routed to that load balancer. What is load balancer, what it does, how it does, all the things we will see in our sessions. Okay, so this load balancer will then route the traffic more to the web server, further to the web servers. Okay, so our web servers will be running in our private subnet. Yes, and we will have two availability zones. So these private subnets, public subnet composition, and this VPC component, all of these we will be creating. Okay, so this web server, the traffic will be hitting, and then this will be web server will be hosting some static pages, and that will be redirecting based on your request. Like suppose if you are clicking in courses, okay, so in the back end there will be some application server which is going to your database server and getting the details like what is the course price, how many students are registered, who all are uh, trainer, and all those details, right? So from the front end, it will go to back end where application will be actually hosted. So this web server will further redirect this traffic to the auto scaling, application server, and that application server will be managed through auto scaling group. Why auto scaling group? For high availability, right? Okay, and reducing the latency and all. Okay, this auto scaling group, suppose this application is running something which has some set of data. Okay, so it would need to retrieve the data from. Is my voice low for everyone?
No, Gaurav, I'm able to hear you clearly.
Okay, so maybe some problem at your side, Nick. Could you please rejoin, or you can, yeah, increase your volume? Okay, fine. So yeah, I was talking about the application servers. So these application servers, we will be configuring with the help of auto scaling group. Why? To make it high available and reducing the latency and all, right? And suppose if we are running our service on single CPU, single instance, so that will have a limit of CPU and memory. And if I am getting multiple chat requests, like my voice is not clear. Yeah, so guys, please rejoin Atul. Okay, it's problem on your end, like your internet connectivity would be down. Okay, it's clear for multiple people, so it's not from my end. Please rejoin. Okay, or change your Wi-Fi connectivity. Thank you. Okay, so these are through the auto scaling group we will create. So if we are running our application on one instance, so in scenario, suppose if 10 people are hitting or 100 people are hitting and my CPU and RAM capacity is good for 100 people, it will be working fine. But tomorrow, if thousands of people are coming and hitting this particular LWPLAB.com, then this single instance will be overwhelmed, right? It will not be able to serve the traffic, right? So that in that case, if we have configured our server, application server with the help of auto scaling group, then we can scale in and scale out, right? Based on the requirement. So that thing we will see in very depth when we will be discussing about auto scaling group and application server. And these application server could be communicating further to the database to get some information. Okay, there is data stored in the server and that it would have to retrieve on each call. Like suppose there is a banking application server, so if some user is hitting and want to see the balance, right, in that case this particular application server would have to communicate to the database and get the balance of a particular user. So we will be having a database also, that we will be making use of RDS, which is a relational database server available by, it is made available by the AWS. So it is AWS managed. What is managed and what is self-served, everything we will be discussing in very great detail. And keep this in mind, guys, whatever I have discussed till now, we will not be creating it manually. Okay, and nobody creates in real time manually. Okay, why? I will discuss in few minutes. Okay, so once this architecture is complete, like VPC is created, Route 53, load balancer, public and private subnets, okay, for hosting our applications in different subnets, right? Making something private, making something public, those all things will be done. Yeah, one component here is jump server. Okay, so this we will be configuring because we cannot directly communicate to the private subnet from our local laptop. Okay, and if we need to troubleshoot something, suppose our web server is down and we want to check the log of it, right? So we would need to log in into the web server and check the logs. So for that purpose, we will be keeping a jump server. Okay, so that from here we can SSH it to it. We will be discussing about all of the components whichever I have discussed till now in great details in our regular sessions. Okay, so this thing is done, this thing is done. Now suppose if you have applications, this is application server, this is web server, but currently these all are vanilla server, right? What do I mean by vanilla server is like, if you are running an instance, okay, if you are running an instance, it's just like your laptop, just like your laptop. Okay, let me take some other diagram. Yeah, suppose this is your laptop. Please bear with me, I'm not good in drawing. Okay, so this is my laptop. Suppose you have purchased a new laptop, right, from the market, and now you are a gamer or blogger or YouTuber or some developer, right? So you will have to configure your laptop based on your requirement. Okay, suppose if you are a like YouTuber, so you will have to have some tools. If you are you are a YouTuber, so you will have some good quality of Adobe Photoshop tool, right? Some video maker tool should be there, right? Video maker tools. And if you are suppose developer, which is very relevant in our case, so suppose you are a Java developer, so you will have to install Java on your system, right? If you are a Python developer, you will have to install Python. So what that is called? That is called as configuration. Okay. So you have now created the app, these servers. Currently, it is not a web server or it is not an app server, right? It is just a server because you have not configured it, right? So if you want a server to act as a web server, what you have to do? Anyone? What you will have to do on the web server? If you want your server to act as a web server, what you will have to do, guys? Yes, good word, Muhammad, good Dinesh. Yeah. So if you want to make a server, a web server, you would either have to install HTTPD server like Apache or Nginx. So these are the options for web server. Okay, these are one which is very much famous in the market and mostly used by the different organization and community. Okay, so Nginx gives some other features as well apart from just hosting the web server, but Apache is one which is the web server. Okay, Nginx also gives you from web servers and added features like load balancing, proxy, and all. That's all will be given by the servers as well. Okay, so if you configure these things like even Apache or Nginx, so mainly we are talking about HTTP daemon, right? So that we need to install to make a server, web server. Okay. Yes, good, Dinesh. Okay, so this we will have to install on the server to make it a web server. What about app server, guys? Suppose it is a Java application which I want to host. So to make a server, app server, application server, what all we would need to install? Good, Mohammed. So Tomcat is one option. Then there is JBoss. Then there is WebLogic and many more in the market. Based on your requirement, your team would decide and go for a particular application server. Okay, this thing is required. Then Java would also be required, right? And then if suppose if you have Python server, okay, Django server, right? So you will have to install Django, Python, all of these things you would have to, and the different dependencies which is required for the particular Python program to run, right? Those all you will have to install. So the point of this discussion is once you have installed server, okay, you would need to configure also, right? Configure components on that particular server like we do in our laptop also, right? When we are purchasing a fresh new laptop nowadays, it comes with a pre-installed OS mainly, but in past, like there was DOS based system and all, right? Very vanilla laptops. On top of that, even you would have to configure the OS as well. So these all are parts of configuration. So nothing different, nothing something which is overwhelming. Just like you are using your laptop, you configure the laptop, you need to configure your server as per based on some purposes, right? If you want to create your own database server, right? You want to use a database server. So what you will have to do? You will have to use some MySQL or PostgreSQL, right? Those kind of things, or SQL server, everything you would have to configure on that. Yeah, Oracle as well. Fine. So this is called as configuration. So these servers which we have launched previously is not a particular kind of server. That is just a vanilla server. We need to make it a particular kind of server, like act as a web server, act as an application server. RDS is coming from pre-configured, I would say, from the AWS. So we do not have to worry about, we just have to consume it. Okay. So going to configuration first, before going to configuration tools, I would like to introduce you that to the tool which will help you in provisioning all of these resources. Okay, and these components I have not talked because it is a bit advanced. If I will talk about it right now, it will be a bit complex for you to understand. But to give you an overview, I will come to that after this, discussing about this particular tool, which will help us in creating all of this. Okay, so we will be introduced to a tool which is called as Terraform. Okay, so why do we use the automation when we want to create some resources in the cloud or anywhere, right? For instance, so if you are, suppose you are working in an organization, okay, let me open another. If you are working in an organization where there are multiple environments, and which is very generic case, right? Nobody directly goes and publish something in the prod. They go step by step, that are called as life cycles, right? So first they their developer team will develop the code and publish everything in the dev. If everything working fine over there, then this goes to test or QA environment, right, where the testing team would do some kind of testing on that. Okay, that these life cycles could be different, right, in different organizations. Some use a stage, okay, but idea is same. Okay, and then the production. Okay, so these are the generally the stages followed in any organization. Okay, so we need to understand, like, why do we need automation? So these are the three environments. Suppose in your organization you are architect and you suggested that I will go and do it manually. Okay, so what all challenges you can face? Okay, so if suppose at least we take the basic resources only, so you will have to create in first environment, dev environment, you will have to create one VPC at least, which is not the case. In real time there could be multiple VPCs. I am taking the hypothetically only one case, which is like you have only one CPU VPC, and then that VPC will have different components like subnets, availability zones, route table, right? You may be familiar of these things. NAT gateway, then internet gateway. Okay, then you will have a number of instances, right? A number of EC2 instances. Suppose you are still working on EC2 instances based architecture, so a number of EC2 instances would be there. Then for those instances, you will have EBS volumes, right? Then what? Security groups, yes. And then suppose, suggest me guys, load balancers. Okay, you can also suggest me. Suppose ALB, 1A ALB, then network load balancer, then suppose RDS is there, right? And then auto scaling group could be there. Okay, at least these many components would be there, right? And to create it manually in one environment would take you around 2 hours in one environment. Okay, and you need to create all of these on all three environments. And suppose in future there is change coming, like in VPC you need to add some more siders, in route table you need to modify something, in NAT gateway you need to modify anything, security groups you need to modify. Okay, so these modification would also be required, and it is also the requirement. Suppose in the developer has tested everything, just go ahead and delete everything. Okay, while deleting from creating, deleting is more challenging. Okay, because everything would have dependencies on each other. Okay, so deletion will make your life hell. Okay, if you have to do it in multiple environments and you have a number of resources. Okay, so doing it manually, it's good if you are practicing, you are learning cloud at that time to learn the each and all aspect of a particular resource is good, but in real time, if you are doing it manually, it would be very challenging. Another thing is, suppose you want to maintain a storage, you want to store the state of these all resources, like you want to uh, you want to have a database or something like a file or something where you want to store the VPC ID, VPC CIDR range, VPCs, how many subnets are there, all subnets IDs, subnet CIDR, AG, route table, all like each and every component's detail. How will you manage if you are doing it manually? You will have to go ahead and click on each resources, take all aspect of it, get all the details and put it into a file, right? Those kind of thing you will have to do, right? But you do not have to worry about all of these. We have a savior, we have a hero with us, okay, which will do everything for you, okay? You just need to write some declarative statement. You declare something, and this particular tool will go ahead and do everything for you, okay? So this tool is named as Terraform, okay? Terraform, and it is very, very important in today's scenario to get a job into DevOps, cloud ops, platform engineering, SRE, wherever you go, Terraform is very important. Okay. So must be some of you would have questions like, why Terraform, right? There are multiple tools in the market, right? You must have heard some tools like Cloud Formation. Yeah, you must have heard about the Azure ARM. Then you also heard about Ansible. You would have heard about GoTo3, right? So let me tell you a very not I will go into very brief, but very quickly let me tell you this. Why should we go for Terraform instead of these tools? Okay. So nowadays, no company is, if you are working in an organization also, you would have seen like not any organization is having single cloud like architecture. Okay, if it is a small organization, they would have like only one kind of cloud provider currently, but they would also be thinking about going to some multiple clouds. That is called as hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud. And if I talk about the mid cap and large cap companies, uh, I mean to say MNCs and all, they definitely make use of multiple clouds. Okay, so multiple clouds means AWS, some resources would be running on some application would be hosted in AWS, some in Azure, right, and some in GCP. Okay, but if I take cloud formation as a infrastructure as a code, yes guys, so it is also called as infrastructure as a code tools. Okay, so if we are taking the cloud formation in this context, can we make use of cloud formation on Azure? Can we make use of cloud formation on GCP? Can we make use of cloud formation in AWS? Okay, so we can make use of cloud formation in AWS, right? But in case of Azure, it will not be supported. In case of GCP, it will not be supported. Next tool which I talked about is Azure ARM. Okay, Azure ARM. So this tool can be used in Azure, but not on GCP, not on AWS. Okay, so this is limitation, right? When you are going for hybrid cloud, then you will have to use one Azure ARM template, one cloud formation template, and you will have to manage everything at different places, right? Next tool I talked about Ansible. Okay, so Ansible, what are the limitation of Ansible is, if you are creating a cloud provisioning a cloud infrastructure with the help of Ansible, then it will be troublesome, and it would make use of internal GoTo3 module, and it is not best suitable for provisioning. Okay, it is best suitable for the configuring the resources, which I was talking about configuration. So for configuration, we will be using this particular tool, which is called as Ansible. Okay, so every tool in the market, you can make use of Terraform also for initial level of configuration. Okay, but a tool is best used for a particular scenario. Okay, and that's why companies make practice of using a particular tool for particular thing. Okay, however, any tool can have capabilities to do different things as well. Okay, Terraform can also configure your resources, but it is best suitable for provisioning. Similarly, Ansible is best suitable for configuration. Okay, so this is gone. Then Boto 3, if you are making use of Boto 3, so there are two limitations. First is it can only work with AWS. And second thing is, for this, you need to have the programming language knowledge, which is Python. Okay, so you will have to develop the code to make use of Boto 3. Okay, and you will have to write everything from scratch to get the information, details, everything through the Boto 3. So it's complete up to you, whatever you want to use. But when we talk about Terraform, so it is cloud agnostic. Cloud agnostic. What does this term means? Cloud agnostic means it can work with any number of clouds. Okay, so you can make use of this in AWS, you can make use of this in Azure, you can make use of GCP, you can make use of OCI also. Okay, let me share with you. So we will go to registry.terraform. Some questions are coming into chat. I will take it later. So meanwhile, if you would like to answer, Emmanuel, please go ahead and answer them on the chat. Okay. So go to providers and you can see here like what all providers are supported with the Terraform. So all the cloud which you can imagine of in the real time is supported by this particular Terraform. And this does not only support the cloud, but also you can create your Kubernetes cluster with the help of Terraform. Okay. So this is not limited to cloud only. In fact, it has a provider for VMware also. Okay, so VMware is centrally used in on-premise if you need to create virtualization. So even that you can configure. So if I would say if you have something which has the API, okay, and API is callable, right? That can be used with the Terraform. You can create your provider and you can make use of that. Okay, so those kind of thing you can create your Helm files with the help of Terraform. Okay, name it, everything is available. You can have Vault is very famous nowadays in the market for storing the secrets. So you can configure your Vault as well. Even I have made use of it for GitHub configuration. Okay, there is a provider for GitHub also. Let me show you. So even you can create your GitHub repo and all with the help of Terraform. Okay, which page it is. So you can see here total 3481 providers are there. Okay, and total 70 pages. Let me, it's difficult to go with this GitHub Terraform provider. You can search by this. Yes, so you can see that GitHub provider is also there. GitHub provider is also there. You can create your GitHub repository, you can configure your GitHub repository, and which is also very important in real time. So if you are learning Terraform, you are not only learning for the AWS cloud. You can, once you have the Terraform knowledge, you can make use of this knowledge and perform multiple activities. You can configure multiple resources. Okay, we are making use of Terraform to configure the AWS, but you can make use of it at n number of things. Like you can configure monitoring using New Relic and all those things you can do. Okay, you can go through this page. Let me share it in the chat and you can find out like what all you are using is supported or not. Okay, so total 3481 providers there. So it is very long list of supported providers. So you can see Splunk also supported, JFrog also supported. Okay, multiple things. Cloudflare is also supported. Okay. Most of the things you and I would not be even using or knowing. See, GitLab or GitHub. Yes, for all there is a provider, and you can configure all, provision all of these. You can F5 load balancer, you can configure. Okay. So it is not just you, if you are learning Terraform, it is not limited to only the provisioning the resources in the cloud. You can configure Datadog if you are aware, Dynatrace, okay, Elastic Cache, all of these, okay, you name it, it is available. Okay, so this is about Terraform. Do you guys have any question from this Terraform? I would be taking questions for Terraform now, and then we will be moving to our another tool, which is configuration management tool, which is Ansible.
If anyone has questions, please raise your hand.
Yes. No questions.
Guys, you all have unmute access, I think. So this is project-oriented training, and the focus mainly is that you all understand the project, whatever Gaurav is explaining. The project here, the ultimate, the big project which is there, your intention is to complete that big project. Okay, and for doing this big project, okay, you have to do multiple small projects which are there, which we call as minor projects. So ultimately, if you do not understand from this diagram something, okay, so we will not go technically too deep, but then you don't have to ask how, but then just ask from this diagram, okay, what exactly you didn't understood from this diagram, because I think Gaurav explained everything. And once you do this particular diagram, believe me, this is like the ultimate project which you will be doing. You can show this in your interview, uh, show this in your CV, and showcase your experience by this. Once you complete this project, your task should be for this entire course is to complete this project anyhow. Okay, do this 10 times, but you should memorize and you should understand each and every steps, why we are doing this, how we are doing this, how to troubleshoot the issue, because it seems very easy to do this project, okay, but then it will be very difficult. Okay, you will fall maybe 10 times, and 11th time you will be able to do it. And once you do, that gives you experience, and that will help you to understand all the troubleshooting steps. You will know how to write some simple coding, some simple scripting at your Visual Studio Code in your desktop. And once you do that, you push it and things will be automated, everything will be created automatically. So any doubts, please ask. Gaurav will be helping you.
Yes, guys. And if there is no question, which you need to also answer this. If you got everything, so yes. If you didn't get anything, then no. You cannot be on mute. Okay. There could be two things only, right? Either you got everything or you didn't get anything. Yes, Komal, go ahead.
Can you please briefly repeat what is Terraform and its use? I didn't get it because I joined late.
Sorry, Komal, could you please come again? Your voice was a bit low.
I said, can you please repeat in brief what is Terraform and its use in our project?
How, if I understood you clearly, so you are asking like how Terraform is being used in this project?
Okay, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so as I was explaining, like if you have if you are working in real time, so there would not be like, let me open this one more time. So if you are working in a real time, right? So there will be multiple life cycles or environment, I would say. So like dev is one where your developers will be right, and like their source code, they would be checking in this particular environment, then it would be going to test, and then it would be finally released into production, right? So these three accounts could be there, right? Three environments could be there. And suppose if we are taking the bare minimum configuration, so there would be a VPC, right? There would be a VPC, and then the different networking components like subnets and routing, then NAT gateway, internet gateway, load balancer, right? Security groups, these all components will be there. Then you will have EC2 instances, for instance, or some EKS cluster, okay? And then you will be having some kind of auto scaling group, right? And other resources. Okay, this is the bare minimum which I can think about right now, but there could be a number of things. RDS could be there, right? RDS could be there. So imagine if you are going at and trying to do it in all the environments manually, how challenging it would be, right? In For instance, you have created all of this manually. Even suppose tomorrow the requirements is coming that you need to attach another CIDR range, okay, secondary CIDR range to your VPC. You need to open some security group, some in your security group, you need to open some more ports, right? In your load balancer, you need to change it, change the listeners, right? For your EC2 instance, you need to change the size. For EKS cluster, there is some kind of modification you need to do, like you need to attach some PVC and all, right? In auto scaling group, you need to change the policy, like target tracking policy or CPU. Based on CPU, you want to make changes. RDS you need to modify, or even better, like in case of dev, like developer has provisioned everything and he finds that everything is successful. For cost optimization, your manager asked, go ahead and delete those resources which is running in developer account, because I do not need it anymore. Okay, so when you will be deleting, you can try when you will be trying to delete all of these resources, so there is a dependency of one resource on another, so it will be a bit challenging for you to delete the resource. And over that also, if you need to maintain a state of this, okay, like for state means, if VPC, what is the VPC ID, what is the CIDR range, how many subnets are there, right? Related to all the resources, if you need to get the data, those details, and maintain it at a single place in a file or something like that, so you will have to go to each cloud account, and manually you will have to get each information, copy it into some file, or you will have to write some scripts which will retrieve that data and put it into your file. So you will have to again write some code and all. So in this way, it is very challenging, right? If you have multiple life cycles and we need to modify, we need to update, we need to delete, those kind of scenarios. So doing it manually is very challenging. Okay. So for that purpose, we can make use of some automation tools, right? So for that purpose, Terraform is one tool which I was talking about. Okay. And as I have discussed all of this, you joined late, so you can also go to our recorded session. So this particular video which we are discussing right now, so that will be, for that you will be getting a video for this session is getting recorded and it will be provided to you. Okay, so you can go through this video once again so that you will have more understanding about what all tools we have discussed and the project which we have discussed. Okay, is this clear, Kumar?
I would request everyone to join the WhatsApp group that
Yes,
is
sir.
being mentioned in the chat. We'll be sharing the recording of today's class in the WhatsApp group.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. It's clear now.
Okay, thank you. So Sairam, we will be taking everything from like scratch only. Okay, so like if we are discussing about how can we create the VPC from automation, so I will explain you what is the VPC and different components of it. Okay, even if you want very in-depth videos on this, so we have in our LMS. So LMS is a thing where you can find recorded sessions. So for AWS also there would be some recorded sessions. So you can reach out to our admin team and they will help you with the course that also you can purchase. So that is very good course, and multiple participants are coming from that course, and that has very great explanation of each and every topic of AWS. So you can also find that, and multiple videos are free as well. Okay, so you can watch those also. And as part of course, if I am making use of load balancers, so definitely I will talk about that resource. Okay, so this is how it will be going side up. Okay, so it's already 8:47, so I will quickly jump into our conversation where I left over. So we were talking about configuration. I explained you how the configuration works. So we will be making use of Ansible for that purpose. So to configure the web server, to make it act as a web server, like we will be making use of Apache. So for configuring this server, installing Apache and all, we will be making use of Ansible. For application server, again, we will be making use of Ansible. And how we will integrate all of these, we will see that. Okay. And Packer is another tool which we will be talking about, which we will be practically looking into in this particular course. And it will be used for creating the AMIs. Okay, golden AMIs. Okay, so by default, no organization make use of the images which is provided by the AWS. Okay, they do some hardening of on top of that. Hardening means some giving some security patches, updates based on their requirement, installing the dependencies. All those things comes under hardening. Okay, so that is being done through the Packer. Okay, so Packer is again cloud agnostic tool. Cloud agnostic means it can be used on multiple cloud providers. Like you can make use of this is Azure or in GCP, right? So it is another very beneficial and powerful tool. So that also we will be looking into. Okay, then comes the Python. So we will be doing Python scripting as well and implementing it in one of the project, which is like this one. So this is our S3 bucket, which will be storing the artifacts. And artifacts is nothing but the application's WAR file. If we talk about Java application, which will be running on this app server. Okay, so to get the artifact from the S3 and putting it into the application server, we will be making use of Lambda. Okay, so Lambda we will be writing in Python. So before going to this writing the Lambda, we will be understand the concepts of Python, which is required for our this particular like implementation of Lambda. So all the things which is required from DevOps perspective in the form of scripting. So for that purpose, we will be learning Python. Okay, each and every concept which is required for scripting, we will be going with that, and we will be learning Python in great detail, and then we will be implementing this as form of Lambda. Okay, so this is about this. Then we will have Golang. So Golang also you will be introduced. It will not be like each and every concept of it, but we will be writing automated tests for our Terraform configuration. So for that purpose, we will be using Golang. Okay. And for CI/CD pipeline, we will be using GitHub Action. So guys, do not get overwhelmed with these many terms, and as keeping time in mind, I am going a quick overview I am giving, but we will be discussing everything in great detail. Okay, and this is one major project. Then another major project we will be having for the EKS. Okay, so we will be creating the Kubernetes cluster in our AWS account. Okay, so Kubernetes is very much in demand, and you all should have a good understanding of EKS or some other Kubernetes components, because no DevOps role is without EKS. So we will be introducing you to the Kubernetes world, and we will be learning about EKS. We will be making use of Helm for deployment purpose, provisioning purpose. Then we will be using Prometheus and Grafana for monitoring. So we will show you how can we integrate this. Then the New Relic will be there also, and we will have Node app deployment on the EKS cluster with MongoDB. Okay, so this project is also another major project. I do not have this kind of architecture diagram for this right now, but I will develop one and share with you. So this is also very important. I did not get much time on discussing about this, but as it's already 8:51, but it is also very important, and you can see that what all things which you can get into interview and in real time that we are covering. Okay, so yes, and each and every component of Kubernetes, basic components like pods, deployment, replica set, right? And then your PV, storage class, okay. Daemon set, what is daemon set? What is stateful? Okay, all those things we will be discussing. Okay, so it is also very important and very real time. Nowadays, what people do when they are going to training, they just learn about some CI/CD tool, learn some tools, and that's it. But you should definitely have a good understanding, fair understanding of Kubernetes, because no DevOps related job will be there without Kubernetes. So you should have fair understanding. Yes, Kumal, you can use Splunk, right? But we cannot cover everything as part of this course. Okay, so we are covering Prometheus, Grafana, and New Relic. If you want Splunk, that is also pretty easy. We can add it at the end of the course. Okay, that's not a problem. Okay, guys, so okay, I don't have the knowledge. So I answered this already. How many scripting project will be covered? So from a scripting perspective, we will be covering Python's knowledge. Okay, Python as a programming language, and then this particular script we will be, this particular project we will be doing. It is not a easy project. Okay, it will have layers. You will have all the components related to Lambda, like what is Lambda layers and how can we make a trigger point, how can we configure it and get this done on application server. So this is not a very easy project which you can think about. Okay, Argo CD, no, that is not part of this course, guys. This course is already too much, right? It has too many things. Argo CD is, again, if you know how to deploy a particular plugin like Prometheus Grafana, we will be deploying it with the help of Helm. Similarly, Argo CD you can also deploy. So that is a GitOps tool. We will think about it. If it is really necessary, we will go for it. Yes, GitHub action will be there for CI/CD pipeline. Jenkins, Rahul, would you mind adding some point on Jenkins if it will be covered or not? Rahul, are you there? Okay, I think Rahul is not here.
I would request everyone to please join the WhatsApp group. People who have joined late will be sharing the recording in that WhatsApp group after this class. There are 40 odd people over here, but only like 15, 10 to 15 joined. So I have shared the link, or the WhatsApp group link. Will be also sharing the diagram that Gaurav has shown, and also other documents related to this particular course. So please click on that WhatsApp group link and join.
Yeah, guys. So please join the WhatsApp link so that you can connect with us. Still, if you have any issue, we will share this diagram as well there in the WhatsApp, so that if you want to see the diagram and if you want to do by your own, that is also welcome. Okay. If you want to ask some questions from this diagram, we will be able to help you.
If someone is not talking, please go on mute.
Yeah. No,
And
it was actually, it was my baby only.
okay.
Sorry. Okay. So guys, what you have to do, any issues, okay, if you want to connect with us, what you can do, you can join the Slack group. Okay, maybe I'll try to give Slack link here. Otherwise, you join the WhatsApp group first, and then in the Slack community, we are trying to create a community where we'll keep on giving this kind of free workshop. Like few days back, we gave Linux free workshop where we are explaining whole Linux. You can even join those free sessions. Okay, you can join this particular session as well. So all will be revolving around DevOps. Again, DevOps and cloud. So we are only teaching DevOps, cloud, and someone was saying Lambda is not there. Everything is there in this particular course for you and for you to be successful in the DevOps world. Only for DevOps, so that you can go quickly and crack a job. Even if you don't know any coding, you want to increase your salary, all these things. Currently DevOps is very in my like too much demand is there in market, and it will be still there. Why? Because still people are migrating to cloud, still they are moving from one cloud to another cloud. So whenever there is a cloud thing coming on and then you don't have the coding experience, you want to move into IT, or if you are already in IT, you are stuck in development, 10-15 years experience, and you want to move into DevOps, believe me, there are so many people. I took lot of interviews. This particular currently this particular whatever diagram Gaurav is showing, we have created this. This is not something which is there in YouTube or somewhere. You will be able to do this. Once you do that, get 3 years of experience or 4 years of experience, show that, and start applying job. Is the WhatsApp group shared? I think it's shared, right? Unable to join WhatsApp. Yeah, I think it is shared. Please click on this link and you will be able to join. If not, I will also share our email ID. Some of you, if you are facing any challenge, you can connect here. Also, I will also share my WhatsApp number. If you want that, you want one-on-one discussion before you go and join any these classes. This is my WhatsApp number. Okay, try to call at EST time, not at IST, and I would be very happy to help you out in counseling you, like what exactly you should do to move into cloud world. Okay, so this particular workshop is free, whatever you are currently joining in 2-3 days, but then this is kind of a demo. Okay, because we are trying to give 35 hours of our time, so this will be chargeable for sure. Okay, but not that which is going to make a hole on your pocket. Okay, which will be very less, which will be told to you over email. Okay, but then you don't think about first now about this particular charges. You can join for a few days to understand that okay, things are working or not, if this is good or not. Or, I don't know how admin is saying, just go ahead, join the thing WhatsApp and talk to the admin, will guide you what exactly you will have to do next. Okay, I am not sure, but then for
I would
technical
request
things,
everyone to join the class. We have another class tomorrow also at 8 a.m. So don't be late. Be punctual. Join at 8 a.m. so that you don't miss out on anything. And tomorrow, our team will get in touch with you and help you to enroll into this particular course.
right? Okay. And one more thing, that we do have our YouTube channel also, where we are posting a lot of interview questions. Okay, and also a lot of conceptual uh, videos are there. Okay, again related to DevOps. Okay, so join, subscribe to our channel. You will be able to get a lot of free things there. If you are really looking to move into DevOps, I can assure you that we will be the best um, channel where you can get the real stuff, not the theoretical thing. A lot of channels are there where theoretical things are there, but then we are focusing mainly on the projects because it is the fastest. You will do some project, like you suppose go and work in TCS, and you join TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. There will be one project where you will be assigned, a mentor will be there, he will guide you for 1 month or 2 months, and then you will be job ready. You will be ready for work. They will give you the shift and you will have to work on that. So similarly here, we will teach you something, you have to do that maybe 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Doesn't matter till the time you are understanding everything in detail. If you're not understanding, don't hesitate to ask. Again, before asking, it is expected that you should all check the videos again and again. Whatever we are giving you, everyday videos will be shared to you. So that videos will have some workshop. We don't give much assignments. Our assignment is whatever we are teaching, just do that same thing in home and complete that. So once you do that, very easy step. First, understand the project and implement the project and put that into experience. That's it. Cool. I think we are okay. If everybody joined the WhatsApp group, that is okay. Let's proceed. and we can join tomorrow. There is a link also shared here. Join this particular channel. You can check a lot of videos are there. Also check our reviews. A lot of people are getting job after doing these courses. All these reviews are there in Google. Check those Google reviews. We do have also a lot of once you join the Slack channel, you will also see a lot of students who got the job. They will be posting their things. Okay, so that will also motivate you to do better. Okay, that if they can crack job after doing this, why don't you? Okay, it doesn't matter if you are in US. In US also there are a lot of jobs. In India also there are a lot of jobs just for DevOps. Try searching DevOps jobs. You will understand how cool this job is. Not you don't have to give much time. Okay, it will be giving you some free time also for family time, and then again you can also work. Sometimes there will be work, obviously wherever you go, because you will be working in production. So sometimes there will be work which you will be doing, and mostly you will automate things and you can relax. That's the beauty of this DevOps job. Okay, so fee and other things will be told to you by our admin. First fees and everything will be told to you, or we'll be sharing those emails. But for now, just join the classes, learn. Okay, the project we will be sharing you, the diagram will be sharing you in the WhatsApp group. So this WhatsApp group is very important for all of you. From there only you will be added to Slack channel, to Google Classroom, where you will get the videos. We will also share you some free coupon code where you can go and purchase our some free courses from LMS website. We do have another website, which is lms.lwplabs.com, where we will give you some coupon code which you can apply and purchase some courses. Okay, maybe for 1 rupees, something like that. Okay, Indian rupees. You can do that things as well. So there are a lot of courses which are free, which you can still go and purchase it. But then also we share some coupon codes. So there are so many things, but all this starts from the WhatsApp group. So join the WhatsApp group. I think host, we are okay to close, right? It's almost, I think,
Yes.
4 minutes.
Guys, do not forget to join tomorrow at 8 a.m. IST. It will be a concluding of this particular session.
Thanks, Gaurav, for taking such a nice session, and hope you help all like you helped others in your past batches for this particular diagram to complete, architecture to complete. Thank you, Gaurav.
Sure. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Let's
Thanks,
meet tomorrow.
Gaurav. Thanks, Rahul, for the excellent class. Thank you.